Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Waldo here with a commentary. The date today is February 24th, 2018. It's approximately 17:20, so 5:20 p.m. for those of you uneducated fucks. This video that's playing right now was actually filmed in September of 2017. It's just leftover footage that I have because I haven't been in California since September, because I am in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina right now, hooking and jabbing. But this video is about heat stroke. It's about how to prevent it, what are the symptoms, and how to treat it, pretty much. So, getting to the prevention portion of it, drink water. Okay? Heat stroke is caused by dehydration, which means you're not drinking enough water. Your body does not have enough fluids to function, so it shuts down. Simple as that. So if you start to feel like, oh man, I feel lightheaded, I don't feel good, I need to sit down, then tell somebody, hey man, let me sit down, let me relax for a minute, because I don't feel good. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Let somebody know. Or just like if you're in a situation where you're airsofting, or you're like me, you're in the field, or you're doing some type of field op, then you let somebody know, hey, I don't feel good, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. You let your corpsman know, you let a ref know, you let anybody know, so that way you can stand aside, sip on some water, and kind of regain yourself before you do pass out. Because that's what happened with these guys, is they pretty much kept playing up until the point where they crashed. Shortly after the guy before had crashed, this guy became a heat case as well, and both cases were the same. This guy only had like 2 bottles of water that day, whereas the other guy, he was drinking out of a gallon bottle, or not a bottle, but a gallon jug. And it was already well after lunch, and the sun was extremely bright that day. It was about 105 degrees. So, it was pretty damn hot. I was sweating pretty bad. I'm drinking water, by the way, and eating Thin Mints, because I'm fat. But, yeah, it's really important for you guys to drink water. But that's really the prevention stage of it. How to, I kind of already went over, how to identify heat stroke and heat case. If somebody looks like either rather pale than they normally are, that's a symptom of heat case. If they look like they're standing and they're kind of wobbly or anything like that, that's another form of heat case. Or it could just be like they're locking out their legs, or that's kind of more like that's a different field environment or field of operation, but kind of the same thing. Anyways, so what did I say before? It was prevention, symptoms of it, and how to treat it. Well, the prevention and how to treat it are pretty much the same thing. Or actually, no, I lied. Just kidding. So if you do succumb to heat case, if you are the one to succumb to heat case, or you see somebody succumb to heat case or heat stroke, then what you do is you can do several things actually. You take off their boots and their socks, because that'll lower their body temperature. You have them sip on water, not super cold water, because then it's going to cramp them up, and they're just going to get even more fucked up than they already are. Not super cold water, but not super warm water. Just, I want to say a little lower than room temperature. It doesn't need to be ice, pretty much. Another method of treating heat case is to ice that person, get a cold pack or whatever, wrap it in a freaking towel or whatever, a rag, and put it over their head, so that way their core temperature can cool down, shit like that. Don't let them do anything physical that will make them sweat, make them hotter than they already are. In any case, when you have a casualty, whether it's somebody was shot, or somebody freaking passed out because they weren't drinking enough water, they became a heat case, you always have to call, in the military world we call it a CASEVAC, casualty evacuation. So pretty much you call back to whoever, whether it's like first what's the fucking shit, first echelon or whatever, where it's like immediate, the operator. You pick that motherfucker up. You either run him back to fucking headquarters or whatever. You run him back to a safe area. Get him off the X is what we like to call it. But pretty much the whole purpose is to get those casualties, out of the quote unquote hot zone. Of course, we were airsofting, so it wasn't as dire a situation, but we did get a safety Vic over, and you see it over there. We did manage to get a safety Vic over to the field, and we had them, load up into the safety Vic so that way they didn't have to walk back. So, I mean, that's really the primary, it's what you got to do. If you're a heat case, you're a heat case. There's nothing really. It's already happened to you. Then you just kind of got to take it easy, relax, cool down, get your core temperature down. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I feel like I kind of touched all the bases. If you guys feel like you learned something from this, go ahead and comment what you learned. I'm not trying to bag on these guys that passed out. It was unfortunate that had happened, but I'm not trying to put them in the spotlight as well. I'm just trying to have you guys, the viewers, learn from their mistakes. We all make mistakes. It happens. I've made mistakes in the past. I've done things that I'm not proud of myself. So we all do it. It happens. So these guys, they weren't a bunch of fucking crybabies either. They didn't cry about it or do any of that bullshit. They manned through it. They kept their cool. They weren't like freaking out or anything like that. So good on them. But yeah, that pretty much concludes this video. Obviously you can tell by the black screen. Yeah. So I'm working on editing some more videos pretty soon. I don't have that good of footage because obviously I suck at airsofting. But there is an airsoft park nearby me that I want to try out, but unfortunately I do not have a gun, an airsoft gun. So either I'm going to have to rent one from the place that I go to, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to have to freaking buy one, which I also don't want to do because I like spending money on cars and shit. So, yeah. Airsofting is not my job, so don't get upset if you don't hear from me for like another year or whatever, which is unlikely. I'm always going to be here, so yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Mustang Airsoft, Mustang_Airsoft. And then, yeah, that's about it. I don't really have anything too dire for you guys. Elvis says hi. Little Man says hi. From all of us here at Mustang Airsoft, we say hello. And we're still here. We're still living. We're still fine and kicking. Oh, here's something interesting that happened recently. If you saw that video online of the guys trying to go to the Black Panther thing in the big trench coat, that was Elvis. That was Elvis's video. He was in that video. He was the guy on the bottom. So if you didn't know that, now you know. It's pretty cool, right? Mustang Airsoft are famous on fucking Twitter. Pretty cool. But yeah. So I love you guys. Stay dirty. Peace.